the 10th National Assembly will be inaugurated. Hence, the race to the leadership position is in full gear. One of the aspirants of the Speaker of the House of Representatives and former Deputy Speaker of Plateau State House of Assembly, Yusuf Gagdi, has formally launched his entry into the race. At the unveiling of his plan in Abuja, Gagdi said, youthfulness, experience, and the ability to dare stand him out among other contenders. He promised to ensure that the voices of the disenfranchised are heard in the 10th Parliament if elected Speaker. Let's share the story by National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa with you.
At the last count, no fewer than 12 returning members have indicated their willingness to lead the 10th House of Representatives. They include the Deputy Speaker Hamed Wasi, House Leader Halazana Dodogua, Chairman House Committee on Appropriation Aliyu Betara, House Spokesman Benjamin Kalu, and Chairman House Committee on Persons with Disabilities Miriam Onuoha. Others are Abbas Tajuddin from Kaduna, Aminu Chaji from Zamfara, Maki Elema from Jigawa, Sada Soli from Katsina, and Yusuf Gagdi from Plateau State. Of the contenders, Yusuf Gagdi insists he stands out. Indeed, Saturday the 6th May 2023 will go down in history as the day the versatile legislator formally launched himself into the race to become the next Speaker of the House of Representatives. It was a declaration like no other, serving legislators, members-elect, party faithful, friends and well-wishers of youthful legislator Yusuf Gagdi turned out in their numbers to honor a man many describe as a goal-getter.
We need assembly that will help Nigerian people. We need assembly that will oversight the project, not assembly that will keep the members in the hotel and settle them there and come back. When Gagdi raised to speak, you will know that he has a legislative experience. Because when he emerged as a deputy speaker in Plateau State, the procedures in the National Assembly and where is the same, only small changes.
Our organization, the Coalition of Support Group, is persuaded by the Renew Hope Action Plan and policy direction of our incoming administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that it is incumbent to ensure that inclusion and representative of youth sector as top functionary of the incoming administration. As progressive youth and intellectuals, we have unanimously adopted you, Honorable Gagdi, as one that is capable, prepared, competent, and readily accessible to the youth of this country.
Here comes the man everyone has come to honor. For more than 40 minutes, Gagdi held his audience spellbound. He tells his grass-to-grace story and his determination to lift many citizens facing the bitter experiences he had as a child from the pit of discomfort.
If there is any achievement of my dint of hard work that I am proud of, is that commitment of 27 bundles of firewood and small cassava farm that saved the life of my mother. I am who I am because of my mother and my father. Got admission in ABU Zaria, but because I had no money, I decided to go to a teacher training institute, College of Education, Panjshir, an institution that today I have funded and sponsored a private members bill that transformed it to a status of Federal University of Education. It means, therefore, that there is hope for Nigeria.
Gagdi says his 4-year stint in the House of Representatives has been most eventful and his achievements are visible even for the blind to see as he presents to the public a compendium of his achievements from 2019 to 2023. With more than 20 bills to his name in the 9th House, 6 of which have been assented to by President Muhammadu Buhari, Gagdi says as a trailblazer, his goal is to achieve more. Gagdi calls on President-elect Bola Tinubu as a talent hunter to tap into his many qualities for a rancor-free executive-legislature relations.
I am confident that this our President-elect a talent hunter, Bola Ahmed Tinubu Asuwaju, will take Nigeria to the promised land. I am optimistic that our president-elect is a talent hunter, and I declare to all Nigerians that Asuwaju will find one of the best talent in Yusuf Gagdi to partner with and take Nigeria to the promised land.
The Gagdi plan, One Nation, Forward Together, chronicles its agenda if given the opportunity to occupy the Speaker's seat. It comes with a desire to reform the House of Representatives through the legislative agenda, oversight responsibilities, and the enhancement of women, youth, and persons with disabilities in politics and governance. A compendium of his 4-year stay in the House also comes handy. It details his many developmental strides as the lawmaker representing Bangshin Kanke Kanam Federal Constituency of Plateau State. Constitution review, justice sector reforms, police reform, national security, economic growth, education, and healthcare are some of the areas Gagdi hopes to make appreciable impact if given the mandate to serve. Jokets, TVC News, Abuja.
You know, if there's anything to watch out for, is the 10th Assembly, that's House of Representatives. But I think we have a direction for the Senate now. It might just be getting there that day, and something that has been ordained to be carried out. But the House of Representatives has been quite, trickish, knowing the number of opposition that the opposition combined opposition strength. Yes,
you have to work with them. That
the ruling party does not have
majority
in the House of Representatives.
But it's still the most dominant party there. But when the opposition chooses to come together, they outnumber the APC.
Yes.
And it is the first time in Nigerian history that the ruling party will not constitute the majority in the House of Reps. And they still say that election is the worst. This is the first time that it had, not since 1979 did this happen. The ruling party would have control. In fact, during the PDP years, they used to even have two-thirds.
Overwhelming.
Now,
decide everything.
Now, this is the situation. When all those parties come together, first we had more parties winning seats than at any time in our history. Now, they have won more seats than the APC. It means that you have to work with them. Gagdi, who is contesting, knows that he cannot win on the strength of APC members alone. You have to work
bipartisan.
Yes, you have to work with others. I attended this event, and honestly, I was very impressed. Gagdi appears to be the only one who is even talking, who is campaigning. When you look at the Gagdi plan, you will see clearly that this is a man who prepared for this job. Now, he said he's going to spearhead a people-oriented parliament. He said, I am one of the best talents Tinubu will find to partner with. Tinubu identifies talents. So he's saying that the team must be zoned to the North Central for equity and fairness. North Central has never produced a Speaker of the House of Reps. Northwest has produced 4 speakers between 1999 and now, starting with Salisu Buhari. We had Gali Naba, we had Masari, Minubelu Masari, and we also had the former, I'm talking about Northwest, the governor of Sokoto State, Tambua. That's the 4th person. North Central has not produced. And what the North Central people are saying is, look, given the way we voted for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we delivered 4 states to him. Not even Southwest delivered more states than the North Central. And in some of those elections, they won comprehensively. Look at Kwara. Look at the way the Kwara election went. They won every local government. They effectively shut up Saraki and his people. They shut them off effectively. Won all the local governments in both elections. So you can't say North Central is undeserving of this. You can't say they've not done well. Because somebody who wants 4 out of 6 is done well. It's done well. So they are saying, look, this is our time. And Gagdi too is saying the same thing. Gagdi said yesterday that illegal funding of reps committees, that it will make sure that it comes to an end as speaker. They are going for oversight. It's still the same people that they want to oversight that will be lodging them in hotels. Ayo. Has the oversight not even failed? Will you be able to write
you can't be
terrible
objective.
report against me when I'm the one who lodged you in the hotel? Maybe I even gave you women.
I take honorarium.
Maybe I even use women as a sweetener.
Yes, of course.
For you.
Part of the...
It's part of what happens. So the man is saying, no, it has to end. We have to fund oversight functions. We have to do it well because
From the budget of
that
the
is
house.
where corruption. That's where how you defeat corruption. A lot of what is going on in those MDAs,
Yes.
they need serious supervision. Well, it's not happening because these people will simply get compromised and nothing will happen. So he's saying, let us do our best to put an end to that. He then said, Nigeria is failing because the parliament is not discharging sincere oversight. He also said the reps under him will be the embodiment of the nation's democracy. He then said, we need the House of Reps that will help the Nigerian people, that will oversight projects and not an assembly that will keep people in hotels with nothing to show for it. So that's how it went that day. And as you said, it's a very tricky race. Northwest is in the race. North Central is in the race. We have people like Tajuddin from Kaduna. We have people like our friend Adodogwa from Kano. Is in the race. We have the deputy speaker.
Idris
Wase is also in the race. We don't know where the party will zone this thing to. Hopefully, they will decide before
it's resolved.
Because even people like Betara too, from the northeast, Betara is in the race. And Betara is Gagdi's good friend. It will be interesting to see two very good friends contest against one another.
I think the House of Rep, we saw the night assembly, and we saw leadership in Femi Gbajabiamila. The responsibility and the way he was able to deliver was a face of that House of Representatives, and in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge of the House, in terms of everything, he stood miles apart from his contemporaries. I've even seen his deputy that had to anchor 1 or 2 times, and you can't compare the knowledge with Femi Gbajabiamila and everything. So in looking for another speaker now, we should be looking for a vibrant speaker, a speaker that can steer the ship of 360 members.
Yeah. I think, let me be very honest that, looking at the aspirant from Plateau State, in the first place, we need somebody who is competent, who is experienced, who is educated, and who is also liberal-minded. One thing you can give to this speaker is that, his father, who died recently, was the chief imam of Dagdi Mosque. And people spoke a lot. I read what tributes people paid to his father. That his father was a bridge builder between all the ethnic groups, between all the religious groups. That in fact, he used to lead peace meetings, in Plateau State during this crisis that they used to have, ethnic and religious crisis. And so he seems to come from a very good family. And I think apart from that, he stands out, sponsoring 7 bills, 6 of which have been assented to by the president. And the fact that even in his constituency, in fact, when I read about what he had achieved, I was wondering that in my own constituency, what is happening? He built about 28 classrooms, 14 health centers, 28 roads, 2,100 units of solar street light, 264 hand pump motorized boreholes, 6 town halls, 24 palaces he rebuilt, skill acquisition center, 1,618 motorcycles. So I was wondering, 80 tricycle, 118 cars and healers for police. And you know, I think this is a very striking personality, and it's just about, he was born in 1980, so he has age on his side. And if you look at some of those bills that he initiated, you know, one led to the creation of Security Trust Fund for the Navy, yes, which is a very significant development. And one also led to the creation of 2 universities across the country. You know, he was chairman of House Committee on Navy and Air Force. So I think within the short, and it's the first time in the House Act with this kind of achievement. So I think that I think it's star-studded figure. And I wish that other people that want to contest, we also have this kind of credential. But I think looking at his credential, I think it stands out. I have not looked at the other aspirant, but I think he is qualified, you know, if not more than qualified to lead the House. Yeah.
I have a call on the line. Thank you for waiting for us.
How are you? Good day.
Yes, good afternoon.
Babajide, how are you?
How far now?
Yeah, the topics, they are very fine. The topics today are very interesting. I would rather start briefly from the issues from the beginning. You see, the federal government winding down in a couple of less than 3 weeks, pushing policies and taxes to make life more difficult for the incoming government is very funny. You begin to look at the issue of subsidy that today up to now have not been concluded. That pork has simply been pushed to the next administration. My only joy is that Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a seasoned politician. Take a look at who has been in the trenches for over 60 years. He has the capacity to be able to deliver. He has done a lot. Look at those obnoxious policies and programs that this present government reeled out in the eve of the election, setting the ground for failure of the party. But the party has triumphed and won. We are moving towards the swearing in. Let us move to the speakership issue. The current leadership of the National Assembly is a configuration of different political parties. That goes to tell you the transparency in this election. This was an election where serving senators, governors, won their Senate, lost their senatorial election. It was an election where an other rider, knowing nobody, with his no money, was able to win the House of Reps election. So the contest to the speakership has to be done based on principle and capacity and number of votes pulled in. The North Central has done significantly well. Winning 4 states out of 6 have set them on a good trajectory. You begin to look at the fact that, like Babajide said, they have never produced a speaker before. We should begin to look at inclusiveness, collectiveness, and how to carry everybody along in this Nigerian project. Because the Nigerian project is a Tata state. I'm talking about a nation where over 133 million Nigerians are living multi-dimensional poverty. I'm talking about a nation where having spent billions of dollars, electricity is still in comatose. I'm talking about a nation where over 20 million children are out of school. I'm talking about a nation that has been battling with insecurity internally for the last 12 years.
Easy, you want to give us statistics?
So why? We need a leader and a president that has conscience, that has heart, to be able to put everybody together.
Thank you,
and he has to work with the good National Assembly leadership that has the courage.
All right. So, these are ahead.
It's loaded.
Let's see what the party will be saying.
Yes. I know that
if they have to walk in a line.
This week, people like Betara too will officially join the race. We see a lot of activities
from the House of Reps.
With more and more of them coming out to talk about their plans and all that. So I'm happy that this race is different to previous races. You know, now you know that you have to work hard to become speaker. And this man has started, you know, he has shown that he's serious.